guys? How we doing? How we doing? Just getting ready to invite my guests. Thank you for dropping by, guys. For those who are here, we're waiting for my guests. But tomorrow night, um, make sure you guys tune into my live from the Haunted Rialto Hotel in Florida. That'll be about 9:30 Mountain Time. I live in Colorado, so make sure you guys tune in for that tomorrow night. As we're waiting for my guests, Fallen Angels Paranormal. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. How's it going?
Good. How we doing today, boss?
Oh, another day in paradise.
Awesome, awesome. So today's going to be a little bit shorter, about half an hour. Usually I
Okay.
try to go about 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah, and I'm here at work, but my wife should be coming in the chat here, so I don't know if you want to invite her up.
Okay. Let's see. Let's add another guest.
See if she's in.
And what's her name?
Jazzraz23, her name's Jasmine.
Jazz 23. All right. Thank you guys for piling in, guys. Thank you. This is episode 4 with Fallen Angels Paranormal. All right.
Welcome in, Reagan.
Let's see. Can I add her from here? I don't know if we're friends on here. I'm still getting used to TikToks live and all that. So,
Right. Yeah, she should be coming in the chat, and then you should be able just to bring her
oh,
up. Let me call it.
hello. Hey, how we doing? Rom 1977. And hello to you on the other side. Nice. I hope you guys are doing well today. Let's see. Until I see. Let's see. I guess I'll just have to wait to see her pop up, but I don't know how to invite her because
Yeah, she's hopping in right now.
All right, I got it.
All right.
Okay.
oh,
There
we
she
go.
is.
Co-host. Let's go to Jazz Raz. Invite. There we go.
Yeah, my work schedule swapped around on me, so
Me
said, come
too.
on in to work today.
Where do you work at?
I do security out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bounce at a bar. So,
Okay, yeah, pretty similar.
how we doing, Jazz?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are
Well,
you?
doing well, guys. Welcome to the Scarethusiast Club. For those watching, this is a paranormal platform that I'm trying to build up to really just give love to everyone who's in the paranormal game. And hi, how's it going, Sierra? Um, and really just get to know all the teams that are out there, all the organizations and people. You guys are my fourth guest. I've had people from New York, Ohio, and Canada, and
Oh,
you guys are
nice.
from
That's
Arizona.
cool.
So
Yeah.
sweet. So how did you guys have you guys always been into the paranormal? What was the like origin story for you guys?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in it, and the paranormal's never been something that like scares me. Like most people look at it as something scary. But my mom was always into it, and she'd always talked about going and starting a paranormal group and things like that. And I was living up in Oregon for a few years, and my buddy started a group there called Old Shadows Paranormal. And so I didn't know he was into the paranormal field at that time, but he had asked me one time. He said, "Hey, we're we're starting up a paranormal group. Do you have any tips? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm actually really interested in it too. I said, I can come on and help you guys. And so he said, yeah, you can be like, the AV tech, take care of the equipment, and make sure it's all, working and all that. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I started off with his group. And so we did, a few investigations up in Oregon and things like that. I've always been interested in the paranormal, so I've already known like about it, the different types of like, difference between spirits and ghosts and things like that. And so started doing a few with him, and then shortly after, we were just kind of like, me and my wife, let's just start our own little group and kind of do our side thing. That way we can have, our side of it, and then whenever he wants to go out and do something with the whole team, we can go and do that. So we just kind of started our own group, and then recently moved out to Arizona in January. I'm originally from Southern California, um, so about 2 hours from my hometown, but so that's kind of how we just got into it. But I've always been interested in the paranormal and things like that. So
And then Jasmine, how did you get into the paranormal? Was it always like a family thing as well?
No, it's all his fault. No, I've always been interested in that type of stuff. Like, I mean, I've watched the shows. Obviously, everyone's seen Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and stuff like that. So, obviously, it's something that I was interested in. I just never thought about doing it myself. It wasn't something that I mean, I didn't know anything about it, like how to get into it or anything like that. So it was pretty much all him. And then when we started in Oregon, it got really interesting, and I got really into it, and it became really exciting. And so like kind of like a hobby that we can do together too. So that's a big part of it. And then obviously like going to new locations and seeing different things that you've never seen before, like whether it be like apparitions or orbs or somebody touching you, like spooky, scary stuff that everyone is always afraid of. So there's always something exciting that's happening. Who wouldn't love it?
Nice. So what has been
now,
your
haunted mazes or something like that. That's one thing I won't do. That's the funny part is I
He
I
doesn't
hate
like
like
jump
haunted.
scares.
Yeah.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, we have a haunted maze out here that I'm gonna try to go to this first year. And we'll have to take a pause because we have our first question out of 4 episodes. This is the first time this has happened. So, uh, Cubes or Katie
Kendall.
Hubs
Yeah.
Kendall says, "What is crossing over at all? It is a bit confusing to me." So, to you guys, what is crossing over?
So crossing over, for me, when your physical body dies, your soul exits. Usually before any tragic event or passing happens, your soul will leave your body, and for the time being, your soul is still considered to be an earthbound spirit at that point. It has free will. It can go wherever it wants to go, and therefore it's considered earthbound. It can visit family. It can, do whatever it wants. Um, but the term that you always see in movies and things, crossing over into the light, it's a real thing, but it's not just like when you pass away, you walk into the light and you're gone. Some spirits, they don't even realize that they've passed yet, which is why I'm sure you've seen we have like haunted dolls and things like that. We don't usually try and ask them like how they passed and things like that because some spirits may not know that they've passed. Um, so it's kind of a time thing. They can decide when they want to, if they feel ready enough. Some spirits choose to stay here earthbound so they can visit family and things like that. But there is a point in time where if they feel ready to, they could cross over into what would be considered the spirit realm where they can't come back. They're basically their soul is gone, onto the other side eternally. So
I agree.
a lot so a lot of spirits they choose to stay around. That way they could still be around family and things like that. So
I agree. That's why you have like haunted asylums and prisons because those entities, instead of
right,
crossing over, continuing into what may or may not be what they feel may be the consequences of their lives. They
exactly.
choose to stay there, and obviously, the longer you stay in a certain place, there are some theories I heard of is the longer entity is there at a location, the worse it could get for them depending on certain circumstances. We have another question. Jasmine, I would like for you to answer this one. So when the body dies, do we actually feel pain?
No. So especially when you're in like in a tragic, when you're in a tragic accident, or you're unaliving yourself, I would say, you don't. Your body will know what's happening, whether or not you're in a car accident or something like that. So you kind of step outside and you're kind of looking at yourself from the outside in, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of people are always worried about their loved ones struggling or being in a lot of pain and not being able to help them or anything like that. But most of the time, your body is already passed on, and or your soul is already passed on. It's just your body that everyone sees, and they're assuming that you're in a lot of pain or that you're still struggling or that you felt a lot of pain when you did pass over, but that's not the case.
Nice.
We
Okay,
do.
great answer.
We've recently started doing spirit readings using the Estes method, and we get a lot of loved ones that come through, and then the people talking to them, they'll ask like, are you okay? Are you still in pain? Did it hurt when you passed? And things like that. And they will specifically tell us, like, we've had it multiple times where they say, no, I was watching, like they were watching their body. When we had one, they were in a car accident and the car was on fire, so they were worried that they were feeling that the whole time. And he said, no, I stepped out beforehand. So we've had spirit confirmations too to confirm that as well. So
I would say, hey, Shelby 97 and everyone else who is commenting. I got a Qjoy. I have a couple other people. Hey guys, thank you for joining in, for following us. Um, it's crazy because I do have it's probably the most beautiful memory or experience I had as a paranormal investigator, where we had a house party that we were doing one time, a paranormal event, and a lady there didn't tell us that she was a widow. Her husband had died and she had kids. Now, when we were doing a spirit box session, and we actually had a couple other devices that spell out words for us and stuff like that. Over the device, the husband expressed, after a couple of ladies were talking about the kids and how the kids are doing, the husband expressed how pleased he was with his wife and that she's doing a great job. It was amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, we get a lot of spirits all the time telling them, their loved ones, how proud of them they are and things like that. So it's really awesome to see, how they really stick beside us on the other side, and watch what's going on.
Right. So what would be your scariest piece of evidence that you've ever caught or experience that you've witnessed?
Um, we haven't had nothing too scary, I'd say. We did have at the Jerome Grand Hotel in Jerome, Arizona. We were talking with a lady who her story was that she had jumped out of the window. It was an old mental hospital. It turned into a hotel. And the story was she had jumped out of the window, but come to find out she was pushed, is what she told us when we connected with her. But the whole time during this interaction of talking with her, we had a darker energy that was trying to come through the spirit box, and he was constantly touching us, pulling Jasmine's hair, um, and he was telling us, leave. You can't be here. I'll do what I want. This and that. So just kind of being like overpowering. Um, the spirit of her name was Gerthy, which is the one that had jumped out of the building. She was like telling us that she was hiding and he was coming and things like that because he wouldn't allow her spirit to come through. And he used to be I guess he used to be the doctor on the floor. That's what this dark energy was the doctor on that floor of the hotel. And I guess he was like that to all the women there. He was always really abusive and things like that, just trying to take over. So that's probably, I guess I'd say that's like the scariest is, knowing you have a dark energy there and, you were going to be sleeping there with that, but, um, we know how to take control and, your body is, you have more energy through your body and you overpower anything that you may come across. So, um, it's just one of those things where it's if it's in your mind, you got to learn to work through it and not let it try and overrule you. Um, but yeah, so you set your boundaries and you move on from there. But that's probably about the scariest thing. I mean, there's some spooky like sites that we've investigated and things like that, but
I would have to say I've only had one really terrifying moment in my short paranormal career. Was last year. We have an Elks Lodge down here. It's actually, I think it's like 747 or something like that.
okay.
And we got a lot of like feedback from women, spirits, things like that. But we had a child come across. And that's one thing where I know that that's my weakness because I'm a volunteer football coach, basketball coach. I was a dance teacher. I love kids. And the moment that came through, immediately after we had a sinister laugh and a really growl, and that pissed me off. And so I yelled at whatever that entity was, asking it to reveal itself. 45 minutes later, and you actually can see one of the clip is actually pinned on top of my profile. I actually started getting affected, and my teammates started to pay to get like that, and it was I was super cold all night, and then I got super drained, and then I ended up throwing up. That was probably the worst experience I've had so far.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now,
Your
when it comes, go ahead.
your mic's kind of going like I don't know if it's like the volume goes up really high and then it's like to where we can't hear you at all. I don't know. Is it
Yeah.
doing it for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Let me
No,
see.
you're
Oh,
fine.
you're good.
Um, we do have another question, which is during investigations, what is your favorite equipment to use?
Um, so recently, with using the spirit box and the Estes method, I'd say that's probably our favorite, like factual evidence that we use, just because we can get some clear, direct answers. Um, but other than that, I would say that the REM pod or the tripwire is another really good one. The tripwire,
Tripwire.
it's a yeah, so it's similar to like a REM pod, but it's about $230, and another paranormal company makes it out of North Dakota, and it's basically a long wire, like a cord, and I'd say it's every half foot or so, like every 6 inches, there's a like a little motion sensor, kind of like on a music box or something like that. But you can get it in like a 12-foot length or 30 foot, and it works the same way. It puts off the electromagnetic field, and if anything walks over it, those lights will light up individually and change different colors, just like a K2 or something like that. And you can see exactly where the spirit is. I have a cool video on my page of a child spirit we had at the Clown Motel in Nevada, actually running up and down it and like playing with us. And you could see exactly where the child's at on that thing. So that's really cool to see because you can actually see where the spirit's at. So
Wow.
really awesome piece of it. Yeah.
I'm actually headed to the Clown Motel this upcoming summer.
Oh really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
I,
There's not that much there's not very good service out there, but it's a nice place.
yeah, I'm also deathly afraid of like clowns. So yeah, it's a dare. So you all are breaking up real bad. Christine, can you let's sorry that this happened. And hopefully that straightens out. I know I have a lot of weather going on. I got a storm right now, so that could be affecting it. Yes, I don't. Yeah,
Right.
clowns are cool.
Clowns.
Um, for people wanting to get into the paranormal game or be an investigator or just a ghost hunt, what would be some advice you would give them?
Learn first. Don't just hop in. Do your research. Definitely the best thing that I would suggest is to maybe see if there's like a local paranormal group that's by you that offers like guests to kind of go along with them. And learn what works for you, because when we were with his buddy out in Oregon, there was a lot of the things that there was a lot of the things that he did that I wasn't like really too hip on. And he said in the beginning, like before we even started like working with him, that he didn't like provoking and he didn't like making the spirits mad or anything like that. But he would try and like trigger certain things and try and like make them do something because he wanted like evidence. And I'm not about that, because a spirit is just like a person. And if you go into somebody else's house and you start bugging them and bugging them and bugging them and trying to provoke them to do something just to get a reaction out of them, it's a little disrespectful. So, and it works the same way as if you were going into a haunted hotel or a cemetery or anything like that. Like, respect what's already there because that's their home. So it works the same way. So definitely just like work, like try and figure out what you like, what equipment you like using, try and play around and see if you even are okay with it. Like, know that there could be a potential of somebody touching you, know that there could be a potential of you getting hurt in some way or another if you don't protect yourself. Like you have to know all of the bad things that could happen along with the good things, and you have to learn how to protect yourself just in case you run into those bad things. So definitely don't just like buy a bunch of equipment and then jump in there like feet first, because you're going to end up having something happen and you're not going to be fully knowledgeable on what to do in case of certain instances. So definitely just try and find a paranormal group around you. Don't watch the TV shows because they're not real. But definitely find a local group near you that you can go and kind of, dip your toes in a little bit before you go in full force.
Because equipment's expensive, so.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I've been finding out. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there is the you brought up earlier saying set boundaries. They say all the time to us. Yeah, so you're saying that this gentleman would provoke or try to provoke entities and spirits. Why do
Yeah.
you think that's different between cultures? Like, for example, my culture, African American, we are known for not getting involved at all with this. We are known
Right.
we're known for not just wanting to deal with this. Granted, our origins go all the way back from voodoo to hoodoo, but now it's a different ball game. Um, so with that being said, you have other cultures like the Japanese culture where when they're scared, you can see their videos. They run straight at whatever they think is haunting them,
Right.
talking all kinds of trash, trying. And with that, like, how do you differentiate between what you should do, or I mean, should follow, or what you shouldn't follow? Because I know a lot of people, like you said, don't watch the shows, but Travel Channel has a hold on a lot of the shows right now, and a lot of their production is.
Well, it's just about like, so if you I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying that's not something that I want to dabble in, because there's definitely other creators that are on here that do provoke. And I don't have an issue with that if you're doing it and I'm not there. I just don't want to deal with the consequences of something happening and me being caught in the crossfire between you provoking and you making spirits mad. So that's just something that I didn't want to be involved in. But um, I just recommend that if you're going to want to do certain things to try and get a reaction from spirits or from other entities that may be there, know what may happen if you do cross those lines, because you're not always going to get just, oh, set a REM pod off. Like, you may get scratched, or you may get pushed, or you may get your hair pulled, or other things like that. Like, you have to realize that certain actions will have consequences based on of what you do. So I know it differentiates. I know certain people will get mad and like react towards something. Like, if they do something first to you, then you immediately get upset and stuff. Just that's why I said, like, just know what you are going into and know what could happen depending on what.
Your mic.
I don't know if I probably paused.
Oh,
Oh,
you're good now.
Can you hear me
you're
now?
good now.
Okay. Am I echoing now?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You're
I'm gonna
good.
probably have to come back. I'm gonna come back because I'm echoing. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah,
I
guys,
think she
we're
got a
trying to
phone
work.
call.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah,
we're waiting for.
I always say there's, you got paranormal investigators, and then you got paranormal entertainment, and Ghost Adventures is a great show. I love the show. It's entertainment, but that's exactly what it is. So a lot of people look at shows like that and they think, you know oh, I have to go yelling at spirits, do something, things like that. I've gone to numerous locations where I set up equipment and I start talking, and I don't have nothing happen for 30, 45 minutes, sometimes not even at all. So when people start provoking, they think that that's going to help the situation, help them get evidence because they want to be the next Zach Bagans or something. But so that's why I always say, there's paranormal investigators and there's paranormal entertainment. So
Nice. And while I have a moment, I just want to say thank you for you guys joining me this episode.
yeah,
Also,
thank you for
everyone
having
who
us on.
commenting and liking, you guys just got me past 50,000 likes. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the support and the love. While we were waiting for her to come back, do you want to do a plug in on your social media for us to follow you and stuff?
Yeah, so you can find us pretty much anywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you go to my profile, the easiest way, just go click on my profile, and there's a link tree in there, and it has all the social medias in there. But if you can't find it, it's at Fallen Angels Paranormal on all social media platforms. You can join the Discord. We do giveaways and things like that for paranormal equipment. We have a little paranormal community that we talk about. We have different channels in there where you can talk about either haunted dolls or mediumship. Me and Jasmine are developing mediums, so we do all kinds of things. um, so you can have whatever conversation you want in there. We'll ask your questions, and if you want any readings or anything like that done, that's all in the bio as well.
Awesome, awesome. Um, so I would like to continue this. I know we both have work. I would like to continue this another day, so I will be in touch.
Right.
Guys, thanks for watching. We're gonna have to cut it short, just because we both have work. Please tell Jasmine thank you so much.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
guys, this is episode 4 of the Scarethusiast Club. Please give a share, like, whatever you want for Fallen Angels Paranormal. Check these guys out. They have wonderful content. Thank you so much, guys. I will be in touch, and God bless.
Awesome. Thank you.